So, I know I said no more videos this morning, but I just saw a post and I wanted to talk about it. Um, Toxic masculinity and femininity, right? Culture and society says that men and women have to be certain ways, and it it makes people uncomfortable because we fall into slots. And if we're different, like I am, right? I'm an extremely sensitive human being. I'm an empath, as I've told you, and I've always been overly sensitive. So growing up in the I was born in '79, so '80s and '90s, right? Um, I I never felt like I would fit in. I felt like I was different, like I was another. Like I never was comfortable in my own skin. I wasn't able to just be me, and this is a pattern and a trend, and we can break this. But that requires a lot of one self work because I have to be comfortable within my own skin before I can help or show others how to do so as well. Um, but the reality is, we have to want to. It's great when we talk about gender equality. It's great when we talk about pay gaps. It's great when we talk about all those different things. It's great that there's a certain amount of women CEOs in Fortune 500, Fortune 1000, whatever it may be. But the reality is, until we look at individuals as individuals rather than a specific anything category, no matter what the category is, male, female, white, black, um, and we start looking at the person, because once we categorize someone, we're already damaging them. The fact that every form asks what somebody is across the board, male, female, gender, unidentified, sexuality. I mean, all these different things, right? White, black, what's your race? I mean, at the end of the day, it's a human race. At the end of the day, it's we're all individuals, and we need to be able to thrive in our differences, accept our differences, and unify together to be a happier society. Um, I believe before that the gap pay thing, the gender gap pay, can be equaled, or the race gap pay, or any of the different gaps can be changed. We have to change society and how it looks at things first. I think when we look at employment applications, or we look at interviews, race, sexual orientation, um, any of these things, identifier, right? Male, female, gender. These things don't matter, right? Because anyone can do any job, right? Like, some of the best CEOs are female CEOs. Some of the best, stay-at-home people are dads. I mean, every dynamic and every relationship is different. There has to be a level of being comfortable in society to where we see everybody as equal, no matter what the difference is. I love cooking, right? I have no problem cooking every single night. I have no problem. I was a stay-at-home dad when, I set my soon-to-be ex-wife up with a business, and she was the money, bringing money in. Yeah, I worked on side things. Yeah, I was doing consulting, but I was taking care of the house. I'm perfectly fine with that dynamic. It makes me happy. I love my kids. I want to be around my kids. I've been working from home off and on since 2007, and I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, yeah, it's hard. Don't get me wrong, but I truly am my best self when I have that environment, when I have what I love around me most. How can I say that I'm a complete human being if I go to work, I'm gone for 10 hours a day, considering commute and everything else, and then I come home and I'm exhausted? What am I really giving into my family? What am I putting into that dynamic? At the end of the day, it's time to evolve society and evolve as a human race, and we need to lift ourselves above. Um, I'd love to hear your comments below. Yes, I know it's not open to the public yet, or it's not really shared yet, but it will be. And I'm curious. I really want some feedback on this, and I know that it might ruffle some feathers and make people unhappy. I don't know if it'll ever be 50-50. I don't know if it'll ever be equal across the board, because there's just a lot of machismo, and there's a lot of, you know, uh, fear of people losing power, right? No matter what the difference is. So, but I do believe, as a society and as the younger generations become the generations in power, these things are possible. But it's also our responsibility to teach them and show them. Um, That's it. That's my rant for the morning. Have a great day, guys.